Hello everyone, welcome back to Review and Rate. Today we're entering into the world of Half-Life. That's right, we're actually going to wear the VR headset and teleport to the Half-Life universe to talk about Half-Life Alyx, a game developed by Valve and released in 2020. If you're a fan of VR first-person shooter, suspenseful story, and fantastic environment, you won't want to miss this detailed review. Now let's wear the gravity gloves and get ready to enter the world of Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx provides great gameplay and mechanics with some issues related to how it's being made in VR. First, going with the positive things, I think it's great to have an option to either play with teleport or normal movement, despite me only playing with a normal one because I like realism in VR. Given that I chose the normal movement, I would still be able to teleport move, which I would use sometimes since walking by itself is very slow. The part that I will get into in a bit. Also ladder teleport climbing, so choosing the normal movement gives you both realistic actions and teleport, so I had no problem with it at all. What I disliked about the normal movement is that there is no sprinting or even just regular speed of walking. The movement is very slow that I get very frustrated trying to move from place to place, which as I mentioned before, it forces me to teleport move just to get to some location faster. Another negative thing is that there is no actual jump. If you want to jump, just teleport to that high place. The fact that I can't jump with any of the available buttons of the controller ruins my immersion. Since jumping is bad, falling is worse. If you fall from some high place, you fall like a feather. Really? It is like there is no gravity or something. And not only that, unlike in previous Half-Life games, where you take damage depending on the fall, in Half-Life Alyx you instantly die. Like sometimes I go down some place and see myself dead. It is bad and not realistic at all. I chose the option to play with normal movement, so why can't I have a realistic game? Like it is good that there are options, but that doesn't change many of the things from teleport to normal movement, so it just feels useless to change those options sometimes. But anyways, back to ladder climbing, you have the ability to realistically climb the ladder, which is the part that I liked. But what I dislike about it was the fact that when you let go of the ladder, you automatically teleport upwards instead of realistically falling down. You know, same points I mentioned before, but with ladders. Like always with Half-Life games, saving is easy since I can save at any time and place. The game provides great difficulty levels, like story, easy, normal, and hard settings, and allows you to change them at any time. Levels, as we know from Half-Life games, consist of chapters. Similar to Half-Life 2's Ravenhold chapter, Half-Life Alyx also has a scary one, which is called Jeff. I really enjoyed this chapter, and I can talk all day about how scary it was and the fact that you need to think of every step you take to escape Jeff, the very dangerous creature. But I will tell the person who came up with the idea of this chapter that they are brilliant. Same thing with a chapter in Half-Life Alyx called Point Extraction. It is in fact similar to Half-Life 2's Our Benefactors, because in both chapters you get a very powerful ability. In Half-Life 2 we know of the super gravity gun. However, in Half-Life Alyx we get this vorticant-like weapon that lets you kill enemies instantly when you use it against them. This part of that chapter was very fun, and I always enjoy these types of levels. And if that's not amazing, the Strider battle level in Breaking and Entering is just as good, where you'll be able to use a large cannon weapon to defeat the Strider. Really amazing levels. This is the thing with the chapters in Half-Life Alyx. You will notice the levels getting much better as you get to the end of the game, which are the chapters that I mentioned before. I would have preferred for the chapters to be this good from the beginning, but I can understand the reason for trying to teach players Half-Life in VR with the first chapters, then going full hardcore with the last, so nothing wrong here. As you are taking damage from enemies, you will get a red background showing you that, and as you get killed, the whole screen will turn red. Getting killed frustrated me on the part that each time I die, I will have to wait some time before actually loading a save file, which I think ruins part of the immersion. Then you will have to wait for the loading screen to finish. While waiting for the load screen is a bit frustrating, there is a cool thing that occurs during it where you see the map of many parts of the city you are in and the current location of the player, which is great to see in VR. In order not to get killed, health stations and pens are available all over the game, which very much helps the player stay most of the time in maximum health. As you explore the environment, you will have many places to go to and things you can pick up that would improve your playability options. Let me first talk about the people. People are like statues in Half-Life Alyx. None of them can be interacted with except for Russell, and maybe that scene with a Combine arresting Alex's father, if I remember correctly. This feels like a missed opportunity because I like to mess with other people sometimes. Given that you interact with Russell, he gives you this headset that he talks with you across the game. I really liked him talk, especially when he talked when I am in darkness. That was really creepy, but very fun at the same time. The headset gets disconnected at some times, but that was for good reasons. Another thing you get from Russell is a gravity gloves, which is similar to Half-Life 2's gravity gun that grabs any physics object with your hands from a distance. These gloves are one of the best things about the game, because it made my job easier of looking for things around the levels and grab them without wasting time. Physics objects in Half-Life Alyx can be grabbed and thrown, but sadly they can't be used as weapons. Given that Half-Life 2 is widely known for its amazing physics, I was really disappointed about this. There are no melee weapons also. How am I supposed to kill enemies if I run out of ammo? Look, ammo is pretty much found on many parts of the map, so it's unlikely anyone would run out. But that doesn't excuse having no physics object to smack enemies with, especially since using these kinds of things in VR makes it more enjoyable. But despite that, there are great things to interact with in the world, like playing with a piano and drawing with markers and erasers on boards, which makes the world feel more believable and fun. Batteries, whether normal or the ones from the lighting headcrab creatures, are used for powering many different things. And of course keycards, which are used for keycard scanners that unlock doors. Fun stuff to find and use. There are only 3 different weapons in Half-Life Alyx, which each one offering great effects on enemies. There is the pistol, the shotgun and the machine gun. Each one has their expected kind of ammo and can be reloaded realistically, which what made it fun for me each time I want to reload. To upgrade these weapons, you need a crafting station and something called resin, where as much as you collect, you will get the chance to upgrade the weapons more. I enjoy collecting resin, and this is what makes exploring way more fun. And these weapon upgrades definitely help taking down enemies much easier, like putting aim arrows to help with aiming accurately. Adding to these weapons, there is this device called the hacking tool, which is used for solving different hacking puzzles. Whether it fixes different electricity problems by connecting circuits together, or some kind of virtual screen that you must solve correctly to open something. Some of them are pretty tough to solve, but I had very much fun solving them all. In addition, puzzles in general are also hard to solve but great nonetheless, which lets me pretty much appreciate VR puzzle solving more than those in PC games. Finally, combat is amazing, and I just can't explain how much fun I had in each combat scenario. The enemies you fight in combat situations are just phenomenal. As you know, there are the usual Half-Life enemies, like the headcrabs, whether the normal, spiked, which is only killed when it exposes its body, poison, and electric, along with their zombie transformation, excluding the poison one. The barnacles, the antlions consisting of the normal one, and the spitter, which spits toxic stuff like the bull squid from Half-Life 1. Add to that the manhacks, and of course the different combined soldiers. All of them poses great threat to the player, which although their AI is questionable on many different occasions, they are fun to fight. To close that off, let's now talk about the story. I want to start off with that, as always with the Half-Life universe, I very much enjoy the story. There are a few problems that I want to talk about, but they are very few compared to what I liked. First, being a main Half-Life game, I was disappointed that I wasn't going to play as Gordon Freeman. Don't get me wrong, I like Alyx and I thought she was a great character in Half-Life 2 and certainly a great character in this game. I enjoyed playing as her and liked learning more about her past, but I think her story would have been much better be told as a DLC, so the focus would be more on continuing Gordon Freeman's story. I actually wanted to pick up where we left off on Half-Life 2 episode 2, but in any case, here we are. I know we had a new ending to that game here, but I think it could have been told in any other way than playing the whole story than finding out in the end. But anyways, this is what we have now, and that's not bad at all. Here is what I mean by all this. It all feels at the beginning that nothing is happening, and as you progress through the game, you will understand more and more what's happening and where you are in the game. While it certainly is uneventful at the beginning, I was glad that it started to pick up its pace going through the end of the game and have that true reveal. With what I saw at the ending, I think here is the part where I would forgive most of the story's beginning events. That ending was powerful, and I had so many questions that just stunned me. So to summarize, basically the events take place between Half-Life 1 and 2. Alyx goes from her apartment to find her father, only to see him get kidnapped by the Combine. This gets her kidnapped herself until Russell, a friend of her father's I think, and a great additional character in my opinion, saves her, and together they plan to rescue Ela. In any way, she meets a Vortigern, who tells her to look to the Northern Star for guidance. Then she rescues her father from the train that was taking him, where in turn the Vortigern saves him from falling down to his death, and takes him to Russell's place. She remembers what the Vortigern said about the Northern Star, so she heads there to find out what it was, only to find that it is her hotel that powers some parts of the floating thing called the Vault. There, she discovers that the Combine had trapped a Vortigern in order to use their power for the Vault. Through her way to finding more about the Vault and the so-called super weapon, she stumbles upon Jeff, a terrifying creature who is blind but can hear and crush people, given advice by someone called Larry to avoid that creature at any cost. Escaping from there, she later finds out that the Vault is not a super weapon, but a prison that holds someone important. Thinking that it might be Gordon Freeman who they are holding in there, she continues on her way to get into the Vault and free him. After successfully making her way there, Eli warns her from entering, but the signal quickly disrupts, and there she finds herself inside the Vault. As she notices weird things inside the Vault, she finally discovers that who is inside the Vault is not Gordon, but the mysterious G-Man. G-Man, upon being freed by Alyx, congratulates her by asking what she wants, which she obviously wants to free the world from the Combine. G-Man says that this offer is against his employer's wishes, but offers her something she doesn't know she wants, which is saving her father from death in the future. And now since she saved her father, G-Man hires Alyx and takes her from Eli, mostly because he was disappointed with Gordon. Then the game ends with
Vital signs critical. Seek medical attention.
Gordon! Gordon! Wake up, Gordon! She's gone, Gordon. She's gone. Son of a bitch, it has unforeseen consequences. I knew it. When I get my hands on him, I'm going to show him. Right now.
Eli giving Gordon his crowbar and tells him he got work to do, which what I imagine is probably going to be defeating the G-Man and rescuing Alyx somehow. We will see hopefully that in a possible future sequel. This is what I mean in the story. See how it's boring at the beginning, then the suspenseful and amazing events at the end leading to the unexpected ending? This is exactly what saves the story. But anyways, let's switch to the graphics. The graphics in Half-Life Alyx are fantastic. Just look out in the environment and discover that great detail and amazing background. Whether it's day, night, or in a foggy place, you will see the realism in the world. Especially playing in dark places, you can see how hard it is to look out while using a flashlight. It tells you how good the lighting is. Breaking windows shows glass torn apart in pieces and glass objects when thrown in gravity. All great stuff. Also, not to mention the look of the water inside bottles. Just look at how the water moves realistically as I move the bottle. Pretty amazing. In terms of the character models and enemies, zombies vary differently depending on headcrabs transforming certain kinds of people. If it transformed a person, a worker, or a combined soldier, you can see exactly that person they controlled, giving more realism to the world. And since that is good, the people and other main characters' look are just great, as you can see the people as real human beings. The Combine being shaped differently, and most noteworthy of them all are the Vortigerns, whose looks are exactly what you expect them to be. Half-Life games graphics never seem to disappoint, even in VR. So now, let's move on to the sound. Half-Life Alyx offers amazing sound design and multiple soundtracks that makes you want to keep hearing them again. Any sound you hear in the game, whether it is a different interactable objects or tools the player uses, all display a unique type of audio. Like usual with Half-Life games, the sound of footsteps is reflected based on the ground the player walks in. Enemies in general pose their sounds as expected from each of these enemies. They combine headcrabs, zombies, barnacles, manhacks, antlions, Jeff, and the Strider all have recognizable sounds. And in addition to the brilliant environment sounds as you can hear now. The game has many different soundtracks. The best ones include the suspenseful battle sequences, mainly including the ones with the Combine and the Strider. Just listen to how great they are. You see what I mean? Adding to those fantastic soundtracks, the voice acting is just as great. While Alex, Eli, Russell, and other characters have normal human interactions and conversations between each other.
Great. Let's hear it.
Now, pretty soon they're going to realize that your dad is not going to talk. And when that happens, he's off to have his brain sucked out.
Russell.
Potentially. Maybe not, though. I mean, they could just drill into his...
Stop.
Oh, yeah. Still your dad.
The word count,
The Alyx fans. You received my messages.
and of course the G-Man are the most noteworthy voices, where it brought back memories from the previous Half-Life games when I heard them.
Need all that to imprison Gordon Freeman. Perhaps what I am is not as important as what I can offer you in exchange for coming all this way. Some believe the fate of our worlds is inflexible. My employers disagree. They authorize me to nudge things.
Finally, let's finish with the replayability. If you ever want to replay Half-Life Alyx, you shouldn't think a second before trying it again and again, because in my opinion, it's never boring. As soon as you finish the story, maybe try other difficulties, or just enjoy playing around. Maybe try looking for resin you didn't see before, or try other different things. You will never get disappointed. And if you think you got tired of the main game, there's the workshop mods. The amount of things that were improved and the great maps filled with stories by other people, it certainly impressed me trying out many of the great mods. So let's now summarize my overall impression of the game. Half-Life Alyx offers great amount of gameplay and mechanics, unexpected story moving towards the end, fantastic graphics and audio, and wonderful replayability options. While it definitely has some problems with how the game is designed in VR, and pretty much uneventful story at the beginning, I can say for certain that these problems don't distract from a high quality game. I was shocked at the amount of polish this game has, and I will be definitely looking forward to hopefully future sequel as teased in the ending. Whether it's in VR or on PC, we will see how it's going to go. Did you guess the score? Well, don't wait any longer, here it is. Why did you leave? Did you think that's it? The amount of replayability you get from the workshop mods alone is beyond any expectations. I know that random people are the ones who design these great mods, but we cannot deny that Valve had provided the necessary tools so that anyone can easily create their own maps and even improving Half-Life Alyx in many different ways. The fact that the problems I talked about in the gameplay and mechanics part of the review are pretty much fixed in the workshop proves that this game definitely deserves extra points. Yes, you heard that right. Here is the real score. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful review videos. Feel free to share your thoughts on whether the points I've raised resonate with you or if you have a different perspective. And leave your suggestions in the comments about which game you'd like to see reviewed next. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you all for watching.